The boos inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium were not overpowering, but they were clearly audible. Following a stuttering start to the season, a third consecutive home defeat to North London rivals Arsenal was difficult to stomach for watching fans. Ange Postecoglou came out fighting afterwards, pointing out in his interview with Sky Sports that he always wins things in his second seasons. "I don't say things I don't believe in," added the former Celtic boss. "But the optimism of fans is being tested." Postecoglou argued, with some justification, that Tottenham's displays across their first 4 games of the season merit more than 4 points. But Spurs were poor on Sunday, and, even when they do perform, their inability to capitalize is a long-standing issue. Take away the first 10 games of last season, when they won 8 games under their new head coach, taking 26 points from a possible 30, and their record is alarmingly poor, with a total of only 44 points taken from 32 Premier League fixtures subsequently. That points total has them 9th among Premier League clubs, sandwiched between Bournemouth and West Ham, over the course of almost an entire calendar year. They're 14 points off the team in 4th, Chelsea, and 35 points off leaders Manchester City. Spurs have lost more games than they have won and conceded nearly 2 goals per game in that time frame. Of the 17 ever-present teams, only West Ham, Wolves, and Brentford have let in more. Only the latter 2 sides and Nottingham Forest have more losses. This is no blip, in other words, rather an extended period of results akin to a mid-table team rather than a European challenger. And the worry is that they are worsening rather than improving. Spurs having only won 3 of their last 11 Premier League games. Senior players are struggling, including Heung-Min's son. Leaving the stadium on Sunday, after a game in which the captain did not register a shot on target, fans could be heard questioning Postecoglou's reluctance to take him off. Son scored twice in the 4-0 win over Everton in the previous game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But that fixture was one of only 3 out of the last 13 in the Premier League, dating back to the end of March, in which he has managed to find the net. Cristian Romero is another example. The Argentina international had the home fans on their feet at one point in the second half, when he produced 2 typically full-blooded defensive interventions in the space of a minute. But he continues to falter at key moments. The lapse which gave Gabriel Magalhaes a free run at Bukayo Saka's corner for Arsenal's winning goal followed similarly costly errors in Tottenham's games against Leicester, when he allowed Jamie Vardy to equalize, and Newcastle, when he failed to track Alexander Isak. Postecoglou talked about Romero setting an example for his teammates to follow after Tottenham's 3-2 loss in Arsenal's last visit to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in April. But more recent evidence raises questions of his leadership and reliability. Postecoglou insisted Spurs dealt well with Arsenal's set pieces before Gabriel headed the winner from Saka's in-swinging delivery. But balls into the box have been causing unease all game. "We knew we could hurt them on set plays," said Mikel Arteta afterwards. It is not just Arsenal who have exploited Spurs' ongoing weakness from dead ball situations. Gabriel's goal was the 18th they have conceded from set pieces since the start of last season, the second highest total among ever-present Premier League teams. Again, the worry is that the situation has only worsened during Postecoglou's tenure. Spurs have now conceded a staggering 13 goals from corners in 22 games since the turn of the year. It is partly down to personnel. Gary Neville bemoaned Guillermo Vicario's inability to dominate his box. Romero's failure to properly challenge Gabriel was even more costly. But Arsenal's success with set-piece specialist Nicolas Jover shows coaching is key.